Not everything broken is destined as trash. I like to think of it as being lost. Sometimes it's just waiting to become something new. This is how I gave an old clock a second life as a mini indoor greenhouse, full of timeless beauty. Stick around to see the transformation.
Let time root what you sow. Watch the leaves and tend the glow in the heart of an old timepiece. The past and future find their peace. It stood in halls of years gone by. Watch the seasons wink and sigh. Now it shelters sprouts of green, a timeless world in between. Let time root what you sow. Watch the leaves and tend the glow in the heart of an old timepiece. The past and future find their peace.
This old thing was already falling apart, all on its own. Doors loose, missing pieces, rattling everywhere. And not to mention, it's like a leaning tower right now. So I figured I'd go ahead and help it along just a little. And I'm going to remove all of the clock mechanisms, all of the screws, all of the panels, pretty much anything that can be removed. I'm going to remove it. Be careful with your batteries if they are corroded like this because it can irritate your skin. So wear some gloves. Here's a little trick I use. Label some masking tape, stick your screws on it, and fold it over. That way, when it's time to reassemble, you know exactly what goes where, and I just store it in like a solo cup or something. Now don't worry, I'm not taking apart some precious antique heirloom here. This clock's more bark than bite. The face is literally just a thin piece of stamped metal glued to particle board. It might look fancy from afar, but it's really just a flimsy little reproduction, which makes it perfect for flipping into something new. If you've noticed, this thing was looking like the Leaning Tower of Pisa. And while that might be a beautiful work of art and history, it just wasn't working out for this clock. So I tipped it over to investigate, and sure enough, this clock was only rocking two of the little 4 feet it was supposed to have. So I just took them off, problem solved. They're nice for a little lift, but it's not exactly essential. Look at her now, standing tall and proud, like she's got her life all together. At least one of us do, right? Okay, so the bottom section was completely closed in, but I knew there was extra space hiding behind the panels, just waiting to be set free. I started out with good intentions, screwdriver in hand, taking my time, being delicate, like this was some kind of museum restoration, but that did not last long. Next thing I know, I've got my hammer out, I'm laying on the ground, and it is a full on clockectomy. We're doing clock surgery up in here. So a little dust and a few loud whacks, a boom, a bang, and we've got hidden storage unlocked. Sometimes you just got to break it open to make it better. And honestly, it felt really nice to do a little demo here. All right, so the hidden storage is opened up. I went ahead and glued the back panel in place to seal it up. Then I grabbed my palm sander and roughed up the entire exterior, just enough to knock back that glossy finish so that the paint, kind of has something to stick to. And for the first coat, I'm just using the gesso paint, kind of like a fancy primer. And I actually found this bottle at the thrift store for like nothing. It was super cheap. I don't even know how much it costs new because I've never bought it, so I was thrilled about that. I gave the whole clock inside and out one good layer of gesso. Then I moved on to the base coats. I'm going to use an ivory chalk paint for the inside and a black chalk paint for the outside. The black is not the final color, it's just a foundation. The ivory will be the final color for the inside because we're going to be putting some grow lights in there, and you want to have like a bright color on the inside, preferably white. This ivory is white enough. That way it'll reflect the light, um, and it's just good for your plants. So, yeah. For the inside backing, I pulled out a variety of scrapbook papers I've collected over time, many different textures, colors, patterns. I really didn't plan out a design or try to make it perfect. I just let it come together naturally. I started by tearing the pages by hand to get those soft, worn edges, and I set aside a few pieces with clean, straight edges to use as a border around the outside. That gives the collage a little bit of structure, even through all the chaos, because we're not doing the sidewalls like this. The sidewalls will stay the ivory color, so you need some straight edges to line out the backing. Okay, so I'm crinkling the papers slightly and spritzing them with water. And I'm using watered down PVA glue, which is basically just the white Elmer school glue. And I'm just going to start layering. It's not about being precise, it's about letting the papers tell their own story. And once the base layers were all down, I brought out my favorite sheet. It's full of like little phrases, okay? And I just cut those phrases out, and I saved them for last. That way I could place them in spots that I knew they would still be visible once I got my shelves installed. Well, I mean, I crossed my fingers and hoped they would be visible because I wasn't exactly sure where I was putting my shelves. But anyways, it all worked out in the end. And the phrases are just phrases. The phrases are just like little reminders tucked into the walls of the greenhouse, and it's super cute. And yeah, so let me know in the comments, what are you thinking about this project so far? For the shells, I'm using an old pallet. Now, if you've ever tried to take one apart, you know they're built like they were meant to survive the apocalypse. Okay, so I cheated a little and grabbed my jigsaw to cut the boards free. Luckily, the pieces end up just long enough to work. Maybe a smidge short, but totally doable. I cut some scrap wood down to use as the side braces, glued and brad nailed them into place, then gave all the shelving boards a sanding. Pallet wood can actually be pretty once it's cleaned up. And then to finish, I'm brushing on a coat of triple thick, partly because it adds a nice shine and water protection, and partly because, well, it's all I had on hand. And honestly, it really does get the job done with fewer coats, so we'll call this a win. I've got plenty of paint on hand, so instead of running out to buy something new, I decided to just mix up my own color. I pulled together a handful of leftover paints, trying to stick with like the earthy tones, and I just eyeballed it and blended it until I got the shade I was kind of looking for. And that's the beauty of it, really, just mixing and layering until it feels right. And the final color reminded me of a storm rolling in over a nighttime mossy forest, calm but wild, moody in just the right way. And the camera doesn't really do it justice because it kind of changes colors. It's like a nighttime blue, and then in some lights, it's like a mossy green, a dark mossy green, and then you get like a smoky gray color. And I don't know, I love it. Let me know in the comments, what do you think of the color? I wanted dark, but not black. An earthy dark is what I was looking for. And so once it dried, I gave the whole thing a light distressing, just enough really to let some of the black base coat and a little bit of the original finish kind of peek through, I look at it like the past is showing up in little flashes beneath all of the new stuff I'm doing to it. I like to do that with my thrift flips. I like for the original piece to kind of shine through. I don't like for it to look all polished and new. I want it to look like, it's just been updated. It's just had a slight makeover. The original structure and beauty is still there. We just made her shine a little bit. And I keep calling this a her, but then I named it the grandfather greenhouse. So, yeah. Next, I'm adding back the original gold accent pieces, and then I'm going to take some gold wax and brush it over all of the edges and the raised details. I get a little heavy-handed because I like this look, and here is where I always say I am doing my project in ways that make me feel happy. You do your projects in ways that make you feel happy. To me, this gold is kind of like sunlight sneaking through the tree branches, and I just love it. So, yeah. I needed something to catch water, okay, when I'm watering my plants, and I found these little plastic containers at the Dollar Tree in like the school supply section. And y'all, they fit in here perfectly. They will hold my seed starting pots and help keep things tidy inside the little greenhouse cabinet. And I was just thrilled. I was racking my brain on what I was going to do. Um, and here you can see the gold that I added, and it's beautiful. And now for the lower door, it was missing the glass panel, so I just cut a piece of scrap plexiglass to replace that. And I'm using this Gorilla epoxy to set it in place, and I'm just going to let it cure overnight. Simple fixes like this can make a big difference in pulling everything together. So I started playing around with my bottles, okay? If y'all have been keeping up with my short videos, I've literally been digging these out of the ground in the woods by where I live. And I still need to soak them and scrub them because they're still full of dirt, as you can see here. And I probably won't use all of these, but I'm just pulling out the smallest ones that I have and just seeing about the layout. And I quickly realized this top shelf is not going to work. I was thinking about cutting it down the center, but I used different boards completely. It just was going to make them too close to the grow lights. You don't want to burn your cuttings. So I'm going to take this shelf out, and I'm going to put a small shelf on each side. All right. You'll see in a minute. And that way I can fit all of my bottles in here, and they won't be too close to the lights. Okay. So that way I can put my tiny, tiny bottles on these side shelves here, and they'll be safe. Then I can put the medium sized bottles directly under those shelves and my larger bottles in the center, and everything will get light and be safe. Now, my plexiglass didn't fit perfectly, and I didn't like the rough edges. I didn't like that you could see some of the glue. So, what do I always say? We'll cover it up with moss. It'll be fine, y'all. It'll be fine. And on the inside there, I'm going to put some of that Dollar Tree lacy ribbon stuff on the inside. And yeah, on the outside, I'm just going to put moss around the edge of both doors, and it's going to work out perfectly. Now it's time to install the grow lights. And I bought the cheapest set of grow lights off of Amazon. I want to put one under each shelf except for at the top. I originally planned for two lights, one on the top and one under the shelf. So what I'll do is I'm just going to put both lights in the very top, and that should give plenty of lights. I bought two sets. One set is a set of 4 that's all connected together for the bottom cabinets, and the other one is a set of 2. And they're already connected together. That's why I have to use 2 up top instead of reducing it down to 1, but it's going to be fine. It looks good in the end. And yeah, I'm just going to drill holes in the side of the cabinet for the wires to come out. And look, It's all beautiful. Don't look at the crooked door. I'm still missing a pin at the bottom of the door here. Right now I've got a nail holding it until I can find a pin for the hinge. But now I'm going to add the moss. And this is the ribbon I'm going to use. Dollar Tree has a thick ribbon and a thin. I'm going to use the thicker ribbon. That way it covers up everything. And we're just going to cover up all of the little imperfections on this door. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Moss just fixes everything. So get your glue gun out, get your moss out, and make it beautiful. I decided to make some decals with my Cricut. I wanted it to still resemble a clock, so I did a clock face, and I titled it The Grandfather Greenhouse. Let time root what you sow. And I'm using masking tape because I didn't have transfer tape, and honestly, masking tape is the best transfer tape I have ever used. Okay, y'all, get ready for the final reveal. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you enjoy the song that I created for this video. Have a great day.
Once it ticked the hours so slow. Now it helps the green and flowers grow. Glass and wood and seeds aligned. A house for time and vines combined. Let time root what you sow. Watch the leaves and tend the glow. In the heart of an old timepiece, the past and future find their peace. It stood in halls of years gone by. Watch the seasons wink and sigh. Now it shelters sprouts of green. A timeless world in between. Let time root what you sow. Watch the leaves and tend the glow. In the heart of an old timepiece, the past and future find their peace. It stood in halls of years gone by. Watch the seasons wink and sigh. Now it shelters sprouts of green. A timeless world in between. TED Talk whispers from the past. Tell the seedlings grow and last. What once measured fleeting hours now blooms with life and fragrant flowers. Let time root what you sow. Watch the leaves and tend the glow. In the heart of an old timepiece, the past and future find their peace.